From Umlazi to primetime TV, Vuyo Biyela has captured the hearts of Mzansi viewers with his magnetic presence and boyish charm. After a show-stealing debut in The River that earned him a Royalty Soapy Award for Outstanding Newcomer, Vuyo's back on our screens, this time as Gwenzo in the hit telenovela Sibongile The Dlaminis. Now in its sizzling second season on Mzansi Wetu. He joins us now for talk about life on set, Gwenzo's messy romantic entanglements, and whether Sibongile will finally get her Cinderella moment. My brother, Vuyo, good to have you on the show. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you for having me, my brother.
So let's talk about the transition from River to Sibongile and the Dlaminis. Walk us through that process.
Well, yeah, it was a tricky one. And it was a transition from a very, very dark character to a loving and very respectful and young man. You know, it took a lot of work, you know, in terms of having to tone down a bit. I mean, I'm a very expressive actor. You know? I come from a theatre background, so this character really challenged me a lot, and I think that I've grown immensely as a performer.
So let's go back to some of the characters that you've played. Is there a character you look back to and say, "This was me"?
I would say, well, this one has izinto engizenzayo empilweni. Kugwenzo is pretty much close to Vuyo in real life, you know. Comes from a very loving family, you know. He's a favorite child. Well, I'm the only child at home. But yeah, I mean, Gwenzo Dlamini is pretty much the closest character to who I am in real life.
And how does Gwenzo compare to Mlilo from The River or Detective Biyela from Durban Gen?
Oh, it's very different, hey? Mlilo was very vibrant, he was hardcore, he was a gangster. Mlilo loved fighting, he used to kill, used to do all these stuff. With Detective Biyela, it was, I was still very young, still trying to find my feet. But yeah, Gwenzo Dlamini, I think I've now actually Gwenzo Dlamini as a more complete performer. You know, I can say that since now in the second season, I can say Gutsi, Beseng performer as a complete performer. Yeah.
So let's talk about that growth, that journey. I mean, what is you've had to do? Is it stuff that's just come onto you naturally, or has it taken work for you to look back over the years and say, you know what, I was a youngster here, I was just starting out, I thought I was on top of my game, but I'm only realizing now that, you know what, I'm almost there where I've arrived.
Yeah, honestly, my brother, as a performer, you are never satisfied, hey? That's one thing that I'll tell you. But just like I said, I see growth. I think I've grown immensely from watching my first ever show, which was Salamina, a movie that we shot around 2020, if I'm not mistaken. When I look back and I look now, I mean, even the choices that I make now, the choices I take as an actor are different and they're much better. You know, this thing takes experience as well. I think experience is very important when you are in our business. Yeah, I think I've grown immensely, man, from my first show.
So speaking of growth, I want to take you back to your years as a little boy, wanting to be a football player, wanting to playing Karate Kid. How did you eventually decide that football wasn't going to be your calling, that you were going to go into drama?
It was the worst decision of my life. I was still at University of Zululand. There was a strike there, fees must fall, and I was part of the student leaders. So I got expelled from varsity. Mind you, I was top goal scorer of our university for 2 years in a row. And I was playing for the team, the A team, Yase University of Zululand. But Ogboshagwami meant that I had to go back home in Durban. Trained with real kings, but things did not go according to plan because my second child was on the way.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what, Vuyo, you're not getting any younger now. You know, might as well go get a job and take care of your family.
Did you grow up during that time? I mean, it certainly feels like it was a struggle, but did it afford you time to grow, time to find yourself?
Most definitely, my brother. I feel like we always find ourselves when we are pushed to the corner, where you have nowhere to go in life, you know. I think man, that was a turning point of my life because I worked at a construction company.
Yeah.
And it wasn't a good thing because I know who I am and I knew what I'm capable of, you know, and having to watch myself from getting from the top, going right down like that, it wasn't a great sight at all. So I had to dig deep, you know, and say, you know what, Vuyo, just take one shot at life, you know, and let's see.
Yeah, I'm interested in finding out how you kept that dream alive.
Yeah, man, all I can say is that I had a very supportive structure, man, my family. You know, my family always believed in me, you know, and with my kids still at a very young age, you know, I knew that I had to become something in life, you know, in order to give my kids the life that I never had. I wouldn't want my kids to experience the stuff that I experienced, you know. I think every parent wants that for them, for their children. So I think that was the turning point. My family and the fact that I knew that I had to be something for my kids.
Well, it wasn't all doom and gloom because you then won Best Newcomer. You're rubbing shoulders with the heavyweights in the industry, and you're a grounded man. How do you manage that?
It's simple, man. Just be you, man. I've been myself, you know. I know what I got myself into when I chose to be an actor, you know. Yeah, man, it's just staying true to yourself. That's it.
So let's talk about Vuyo when you're not on set. You know, I mean, are you a football man? What team are you following? What music are you listening to?
Yeah, well, when I'm not on set, I love watching football, man. I always say this: football is my first love. Football is my first love, and I'm a Mamelodi Sundowns fan.
You're a good man. You're a good man.
Shout out to Mamelodi Sundowns, man. Yeah, but yeah, man. I love spending time with my kids if they're around. Sometimes it's really pretty hard, you know, that they're in Durban, I'm here. Yeah. You know, but yeah, I'm a family guy, man. I love staying indoors.
How important is fatherhood to you?
Whew. Never had a father, one. So it's really important. I know how it is not having a father, especially if you're a boy child. You know, you may get all the support and love from the other side of the family, your mother, but I've always felt the void of not having a father. So for me, being a present father is for my kids. I always aim for that. You know, that's one thing I'm really proud of, and I'm pushing. Fatherhood means the world to me, man.
That's pretty deep. You know, we have multiple conversations in this country around the number of children who are growing without a present dad. What is that message that you want to give to those men out there who have an opportunity to be present in their kids' lives?
The message I can give those guys, man, would be try by all means to be present. You know, being part of your child's life is not just splashing out money. You know what I mean? You know, when ingane ikula, they won't remember all the flashy stuff you bought them. They won't remember those bicycles. They won't remember those fancy clothes or expensive clothes. But they would always remember the moments that they shared with you as their parents, as their father. So I urge all the guys out there who have the opportunity to play the role of being a father to play it wholeheartedly, man. You can't make a mistake by being a parent. You know, there's no perfect parenting out here. You know, imzamo yakho yenzayo is enough. Trust me, believe you me, your kid will forever remember those precious moments that you shared with them. So that's my message, man.
Lovely to hear that. Now, I want us to go back to Sibongile The Dlaminis and some questions that are coming through. And one of those speaks to, will Sibongile and Kwenzo get their fairy tale moment in season 2? Can you let the cat out of the bag?
I mean, it's a Cinderella story afterwards. Yeah. Well, that's your answer. If you know what happens, you got your answer.
Yeah. So let's talk about what can fans expect on the horizon. Any projects coming up? We're going to touch on what's happening to you musically, because that's pretty big as well.
Well, yeah, there are projects coming up. Just want people to stay tuned for new characters. I am very, very, very excited about this one.
Well, one of the things that's come up is that is the comparison to you and Ngubeni, who was an incredible actor.
Wow.
May his soul rest in peace. How does it make you feel when people start talking about you in the same sentence as legends such as Bramenzi?
Whoa. You know, honestly speaking, I looked up to him so much. His passing, man, really hit me hard. Wow, since now you mentioning that, and yeah, it's indescribable, man. I can't describe how I'm feeling, you know. But I'm grateful that people acknowledge my talents. It's satisfying, to say the least. Yeah.
Well, let's talk about music. March 7th, you dropped a single. Talk to us about that. How does it make you feel? We're going to play out with it in a moment. Yeah,
well, this track, I have Ali Keys on the track. Yeah. Shout out to Ali Keys, the greatest in the game. Alpha Moschino, AV, and produced by Max Marimba. Well, this one here is my first ever single, and I'm very, very, very excited about it. It's a love song. It speaks to the soul. Umzwilili, you know, it's melodies. You know, yeah, man. I'm very, very, very excited. I just want people to by stream and download, listen to the song. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful song. Yeah.
Vuyo Biyela, absolutely fantastic having you on the show. Thank you so much for making time.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you for having me.